Hey, what's going on YouTube? Hey, quick update for Project Overland here. So, as some of you may have figured out, I am in the Army, and I'm currently camping on Fort Carson, Colorado, here. With that, see, Army, I'm ready for PT tomorrow. So, just wanted to show you something different, a little bit different than what you're used to seeing, right? So, you're used to seeing this 20-year-old 4Runner that you've seen, right? And I will continue to update that. I've got a lot of big plans for that, but I just kind of want to keep sharing stuff as I figure stuff out. So without further ado, I got a new toy. This is called the Aquabot hydration spray bottle. So I just got this today, and I got an intake tube today as well that was cracked on my 4Runner, but this isn't about that. It's installed, it's fixed, it's real, and really not exciting. So what I want to talk about is this thing. So I paid, I think, 30 bucks for this. I don't have a pressurized water system, and I know a lot of us really don't. So right now I'm using a jerry can in the back, and I'm just kind of filling my water bottle, and now this. What I realized was that I needed something to wash dishes with, because just pouring water on it and scrubbing it and soap and all that, it's just really not working. So I wanted to kind of share you guys this. Also for the organic people, sorry, I'll get around to it, I promise. It's just what I had in the beginning. So cool, Aquabot. So how this thing works: you cool off, clean off, hydrate, all kinds of crazy stuff. And then you got some pictures here. She's hydrating. That man is cleaning dishes, and oh yes, it does work. That dude's drinking some water. That dude's shooting some water in his mouth. This thing's pretty cool. 30 bucks on Amazon. I will put the link down below. So right now, pressurize this thing. So I just filled it for this video. Do a few pumps here. That's pretty tough right there. Okay, so this nozzle, as you just saw, spins on and off, and then you can shoot it just like that. Shoots like a dual beam, triple, I don't know what dual. And then so you got your little nozzle here. So we're gonna put that on and then back it off a little bit. So a little bit more. So, just like a normal spray bottle, look at that. So you can really miss this thing, kind of wet something that you want. And then, of course, what I've been doing, I've been using this for dishes. It says you can shower with it and all kinds of crazy stuff, but right now I just shower and post, and it's working great. So this thing is pretty neat. Give it a few quick pumps. And you're pressurizing it there. And then I just want to show you kind of how fast it's going. It is pretty quick. So it's emptying that thing out right there. So kind of what I figured out was that it was doing about 4.5 ounces. No, 4.5 seconds, 2 ounces there. So 28 to 26, probably gonna end up taking about 4.5 seconds. I didn't watch it on here on the video, but when I was messing around with it earlier, that's kind of what I figured out. This thing's pretty cool. It's working really well for kind of helping conserve a little bit of water, even though it really puts it out there. But no, this is cool. I like this. It's helping me clean up some dinner. It's fantastic. If you guys don't have a pressurized water thing in your car, maybe a pump wired in and water tank and all that craziness, maybe I'll get around to that. But for now, 30 bucks, this is it. this is cool. I like this. It's working really well. So for sure I recommend this thing, and I've had it, like I said, for just today. I'll kind of update you if something happens, it breaks or whatever. But yeah, no, I really just want to share this with you. This thing's pretty cool. So check it out. It's on Amazon, and please continue to follow all that good stuff. Like my Instagram, project_over_land. I screwed up in the last video, but that's what it is. Definitely, please come give me a like, give me a follow. You can see all kinds of crazy stuff that I did to this thing. I had 7 days. I had this thing torn all apart. It was a lot of work, but there's more to come. I'm still planning on stuff. Right now, my kind of new thing that I've been working on is the rear end. So with all this weight in here, I had a pretty bad squat. So let's close that. So I had a pretty bad squat going on there, and now it kind of just looks like I've packed for, like a small weekend trip. So really not a whole lot of wheel gap there, or wheel squat, and it's kind of leveled out. I think what I'm going to end up doing is, I'm sorry it's going to happen, but I think I'm going to put 1.5 inch spacers in there to kind of help level it out. So what I ended up buying, real quick, just so you guys know, 5th gen 4Runner stock takeoffs. Okay, so on here I installed the stock 5th gen springs only. That's it. That's all I've done. So down here, kind of hard to see, but it's got the new springs. They were in really great condition. Fantastic stuff. And they definitely fixed my problem for the short period of time. So what I'm going to work on next are the rear shocks. However, while I was in there doing those rear springs, man, I just noticed so many bushings that are just sway bar end links that are just blown out. It's craziness. So I'll be ordering some parts and kind of going from there. And the front end, if you kind of kept up on my Instagram, I really wasn't putting too much on YouTube at first, but my Instagram has got a lot. I've got new bushings up front, and I haven't really touched the suspension throughout. That's all about to change. So the rear is going to get the bushings. A lot of bushing replacements kind of help this 20-year-old vehicle kind of get some new feet. And the shocks for a 5th gen 4Runner apparently bolt right up. The springs apparently bolt right up. Well, clearly they do. The front. So let's talk about the front, right? So while I'm doing all that rear, I'm also going to pull that front apart again, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to replace the shocks and the coils, so the coilovers. So the reason I'm kind of talking about shocks separate right now is, so for 5th gens, they've got like a 2-inch, it looks like 2 inches longer than what this can take. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to purchase some 3rd generation 4Runner, 1999, kind of OEM-ish kind of thing. Nothing crazy, I don't think. I've looked at the Bilsteins, but I've just they're not there right now. Maybe later. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm probably going to put some new stock, or maybe some sort of better aftermarket shocks on the front, wrapping them in the 5th gen coilover springs. And it sounds like I have to replace the top hat as well. So I've got a little bit more research to do before I start, picking up those parts. But for now, the rear end is just kind of my main focus. So it'll have 5th gen spring coil on the front, 3rd generation shock, 3rd generation top hat on the coil. In the back, 5th gen springs, 1.5 inch spacer, help level this thing out, and the 5th gen shocks. So I didn't do the shocks this weekend. If you guys watch Toyota Time, Timmy the Tool Man, he's got a fantastic video, and he specifically mentions a floppy headed 17 millimeter ratcheting wrench. Well, I went and bought them. So now that I own those types of wrenches, I will be going back in there. But I kind of want to just do it all in one go once I get all these bushings, and kind of go in there and take care of business. So that's my plan. For now, these springs are doing a hell of a job. They're really keeping me level. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. So they definitely helped keep this level, and the ride quality greatly improved, because you know, this much weight back here, it's just too much right now. So it's working out for me. So back here, I still got the battery system. Nothing really new to report back here, unfortunately. So I know I mentioned that I was gonna wire these guys in. Listen, it's just I guess it's a compromise of laziness and not really wanting to do it because it's working. So eventually I will get those in there, wired in there, and it will start telling me some more data that I can really kind of enjoy to read. So if you haven't watched that video, this one right here is going to be talking to me about what the solar panel, is bringing in, and this one will be telling me about what's going out. So say I've got the inverter running in like a fridge or something, it'll be coming there. I do plan on getting a nice fridge here. I'm probably going to put it on this side, and you should probably see my drawer, my stove, and all that's working really well. This is all kind of fantastically working. I've just really been lazy on the wiring. It's working, so why mess with it? So eventually we'll get around to wiring these in, and fixing again on the other video that you've probably seen by now is that I said that I was going to fix this. So I made an attempt to fix it this weekend. I bought some nice 2 watt gauge wire to run from the alternator there up to here, and I didn't have a multimeter. So before I started cutting into this, and you know, then I ran into this wire coming from the fuse box going up to here, that yellowish one right there. So that guy, he's too short. The main one's too short. I got to figure all that out. What I'm going to do, I really needed a multimeter to check continuity between this end here and that end right on the tip of my finger there, dead center there. So I really need to figure out what wire's going through this kind of harness, and I really wasn't in the mood to start cutting it apart. I would have rather had a multimeter. So I will get around to replacing the quote-unquote big 3 wires and getting around to that and cleaning up this spider nest. The other thing that I kind of ran into, man, I just have too much going on up here. Way too much. I've got a voltmeter. I've got a relay to turn this system on. This is a 6-gang switch that's going to eventually control the off-road lighting. I've got headlights going into this one on our harness. This pink wire here, this one's going to be going to the remote starter that I'm too scared to check. The previous owner, I'm not feeling it. This one back here, I just kind of wired it in because I had all the carpet out. That one is to maybe a sub in the, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's there. I had it. It was too easy to just throw in. And then of course my main wire right here, and this is going back to that dual battery setup, past that 30 amp, and my terrible ground that I need to fix as well. So it's keeping me busy. Earlier in this video I did mention that I replaced an intake part. So this was cracked right here. I drove it from Kentucky to Colorado, and it was taped, duct taped, and electrical tape. So with all that being said, it's now fixed. Got a new one. No one had one Toyota wanted to charge me $70 for that. Paid $13 online. Definitely recommend it. If yours is cracking, falling apart, whatnot. So it worked fine. While I was in there, I cleaned the MAF sensor as well. So quick update. You learned a little bit about me, what I do for a living. If you don't follow my Instagram, so kind of what I got going on here. Tonight, I think my project is I'm gonna finish up some Reflectix work. So right now I've got the 2 backdoor windows that have Reflectix inserts with like a black sheet on the outside, and then I've got one on the liftgate window as well. And then on the front 2 driver windows, I'm using like a elastic net that kind of pulls over there, keeps light from going in and bugs from going in. I can crack the windows. What I don't have are these windows. They're cut and they're taped. I ran out of sheet when I was doing all this the first time, and I don't know. I don't really mind it. Maybe I'll get around to it. I figured it might help on some of these cold nights. This weather here is pretty bipolar. It moves all around. It snowed last week, and it's 75, 80 degrees this week, so it's everywhere. And the other thing that I'm kind of being lazy on, if I'm honest, I did add a cargo net, and you might have seen that and noticed that. So this disaster right here, I'm gonna fix. Please don't judge. So what I did was I pulled this panel down right here. I pulled this one down and all across, and then I tied this ratchet strap in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get some 550 cord, paracord, and I'm gonna tie that up, because right now, I don't know if you can tell or not, but like this backside here, it's just so narrow compared to what I got going up there. You know, it's so wide, it's going all the way over to those handles. So I really need to pull this backside out to make it a nice square and kind of shape it up a bit. It's doing its job. It's working fine. It's driving me nuts looking in that rearview mirror. And it doesn't help with the little bit of squat that I do have right now. Before it was horrendous, but I do see it in the rearview mirror when I'm looking back there, and I'm not looking at so much of the pavement that I just drove over. I am, seeing cars in the rearview mirror now, so that's nice. But it is something that I do want to fix, and I will be fixing it soon. So tonight, project, I'm gonna get some of this Reflectix out, get some spray adhesive out, and some black sheet, and some scissors, and some duct tape, and I'm gonna fix that problem. So for the sides here, I don't know if I'm gonna figure that out tonight. Pull this panel off, unscrew the light, all that good stuff. I'll get around to it, and then I'll straighten this out, and then I'll start posting a little bit more like images of it and kind of what I'm doing with these Reflectix when I'm just driving around during the day. So camping it out. I've got another 2.5 months left until I'll be moving on. So thanks for following me. Really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me. Likes, comments, and again, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Project_Overland is my Instagram. Until then, I'm gonna eat some chips. I'll take care.